You can imagine any plant built after the Clean Air Act came into law has more pollution control technology on it. Mount Tom was built before this, and it's having a hard time coming into compliance with this. But the good thing is that we've got a strong core group of residents in Holyoke that are working with us to work to clean up Mount Tom and to make the air easier to breathe for the residents there. The Mount Tom coal plant emits 27 pounds of mercury each year, so that's mercury that's going up into the air and coming back down into our rivers and waterways.
And it should be pointed out that because of the winds, it's going east, right, in that vicinity, Mark? It's not coming this way.
Well, no, it's maybe on an odd day it comes this way.
Yeah,
but,
nor'easter, yeah.
For the most part, everything goes from west to east.
Right.
But it's still an issue,
yeah,
for the residents in Central Mass.
Yeah. The mercury from there probably goes east, but the other pollution coming from that plant sticks around in the area. We see that one of the big problems with that plant is sulfur dioxide emissions coming out of there. And Larry, you mentioned that asthma was an issue that we see a lot more today than we used to, and sulfur dioxide is one of those triggers that it doesn't take much of it to trigger an attack. And we see 24% of the kids in Holyoke, that's 1 out of every 4 kids in Holyoke, is suffering from asthma.
Yeah, there are more kids, even locally. And I see it all the time up at, I'm always at Taconic High School, but even, elementary level, a lot of kids are coming up with asthma nowadays.
And it really is troublesome because it's not just a kid has asthma, he's got to worry about taking an inhaler with him before he goes outside, but during the school year, if he has an asthma attack, that's less time he's spending in the classroom, less time he's learning about math and science, less time he's learning about doing reading, or even less time he's spending out in the playground and getting that energy up because he's in the nurse's office with that inhaler trying to get his breathing under control.
Yeah. Now, is that any worse than secondhand smoke, for instance?
Asthma?
Yeah. Inhaling what's out there in the atmosphere right now that you can't. When I was a kid, it was secondhand smoke. I didn't smoke. My parents did. So as a result, there's a little bit of it's not working right in there, but it's because of that. Yeah.
Sulfur dioxide is right up there with one of those top triggers of asthma. It's just as bad as anything else. There's some studies out there that say that living within 30 miles of a coal plant is equal to a kid smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
Wow, that's a lot of junk you're breathing.
It's bad. It gets into your lungs. It's just some nasty stuff.
Yeah.
And Larry, as we try to get our kids to play more and more outside, there's a national movement to get kids out on the playground.
Yeah, get them away from the video games.
Get them away from the video games.
Yeah.
We have another thing we have to worry about, and that's our kids developing asthma and not being able to go outside and play. So it's definitely an issue. It's not something that's hidden. It's definitely an issue that's out there every day.
Yeah. All things considered, though, it's better here in the Berkshires, is it not?
Everything's better here in the Berkshires.
I'm going to leave you on the show here.
She worked her way back inside.
She worked her way back, and you're good to go again. No, but there are areas of the country that are still pretty bad as far as pollution goes. You can still, some parts of major cities in the country. Look at the smog levels. I got smog in New York, smog in, all that. During the summertime, they have on the National Weather Service, they have this little meter. And it says...
The ozone, yeah.
The ozone. It never goes above 0. It's amazing. During the summer, if you get a stagnant air mass, it will kind of go up a little bit. But for the most part, the air in the Berkshires is pretty darn good. Or at least we think so.
We think so. We still had more ozone alert days out here in Western Mass than we had any other year before, though.
Okay.
We still even out here in the Berkshires, we had 5 ozone alert days.
Wow, 5?
Which is more. Well, it's 5 more than any other place. And all those kids that we're talking about with asthma, those are days that those kids can't go outside. Yeah. And those are days that they're stuck inside and. Another day they're addicted to video games rather than enjoying
get out and do
enjoying
some
the wilderness.
baseball.
And it's not just the kids either. You're looking at the elderly as well. People your age and my age, is not an issue. But as we get a few years older and we get a few more gray hairs, then it becomes an issue for us there. So we don't want to minimize the fact that we only had 5 ozone days. The fact of the matter is it's depending on the level of contamination in the air, makes it difficult for people to breathe. So
now, this
we all want to be outside.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather
Sportsmen
do
would
this.
rather be outside than stuck inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather do the show outside.
Sure.
But, that's too
Not
cold.
today, though.
No. But the question and answer period tomorrow night, National Wildlife Federation. Carol, that's why you're out here. So are you going to be one of the main speakers tomorrow night?
You know what? I'm not.
No?
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it because I've got to travel the next day. So
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
that's my excuse.
So you're here today. You came all the way out for the
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Why? Mark really knows how to persuade you.
Oh, I'm paying for it, Larry. Believe me, I'm paying for it.
But okay, but the National Wildlife Federation, though, we only have a couple of minutes left. But the Congress under this Clean Air Act, but then there's a question mark here: is how well are they doing? And they're not doing so hot.
Well, I think one of the things to think about is, a lot of medicine has improved in the last 40 years, and we know a lot more about what affects human health, and that's true of clean air as well. So we know a lot more about, like Drew was saying, the nitrous oxides and the sulfur dioxides and, mercury. We know a lot more about how mercury impacts human health now, and we just need to keep the laws up to date with the latest medical information.
Yeah.
So doctors now say, you know what, it turns out you can have a lot less of that and it'll still affect your health, so let's keep on cutting it down and making things cleaner.
Yeah, and just making the air cleaner. Hopefully, we'll get the next generation of kids, maybe the one after that, because once you get asthma, I mean, you're under treatment for a long, long time. I've never had asthma. I don't worry about it. I don't know if any of you have you ever had asthma?
Fortunately, I have not.
Yeah, okay. Drew, you haven't.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, okay. Carol? No, she hasn't.
Well, no,
All
not
right,
exactly.
we won't get into that because she just got admitted back to the studio. So anyway, Mark, tomorrow, Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, yep.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday night at the BCC. We're going to have a nice presentation. We'll have some professionals there, and we hope that we get a big turnout because this is an issue that affects not just boys and girls and elderly. This is an issue that affects every single person in this country. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's something that we really need to be aware of, and we want to bring some attention to it, a little bit more attention.
Yeah, and it says here, room K111.
Is it K111? Okay.
K111. The bowling theater.
I thought we were going to have it in the bowling, but that's...
No, well, that holds 600 people.
I know.
K11's a lot better because you can put 150 people in there. It's really a lot.
Yeah, we were originally talking the bowling, so that's obviously changed, so that's good.
But I mean, it's a lot more intimate because you can sit there and actually look at somebody in the eye and say, "Excuse me, Carol." Well, you won't be there. "Excuse me, but I have a question about mercury. Where the heck is it?" And you get this. It's a nice interaction. So that'll be kind of.
Well, hopefully after today's show, we'll have to move it to the bowling.
You would like that, I know. But that is coming up Wednesday night, November 2nd, 6:30 at the Berkshire Community College, K111, which is easy. You go into the main door, instead of going left to the bowling theater, you go right to the little doors, and there you are. It's right there. Mark, thank you.
No, thank you, Larry. Appreciate the opportunity.
Appreciate you being here. Good to see you again. And to Drew, thank you very much.
Thanks for having us in, Larry.
And to Carol, thank you very much for making the trip out here. We should get some kind of reward.
How about a donut?
No, we don't have. No, we gave up donuts. I've got a mini bagel.
Good enough. I'll take it.
All right, Carol. Good luck and have a good, safe trip
Thanks
back.
for having
And
us.
wherever you're going, have a good time. Mark and Drew again. Thank you again. That is Wednesday night. Berkshire Community College is a question and answer period from the National Wildlife Federation, Berkshire County League of Sportsmen. Wednesday, November 2nd, 6:30 at Berkshire Community College, room K111. Thank you one and all for tuning in. Talk to you tomorrow.